Welcome back, softies, for another episode of the Soft Knocks podcast.
Welcome to the fucking show.
All right, so we want to talk about
All right,
Super Bowl and Predator.
Yeah, let's the Super Bowl reaction.
Super Bowl reaction was I thought it was a good game. First of all, the second half. First half.
It was a pretty good game.
First half was kind of sloppy, I guess, but I can't stand Travis Kelce, so it hurt to see him win. I don't mind the rest of them, even Mahomes. He's awesome, but truth is, it came down to the missed field goal or extra point, right?
Yeah, but
game situation would have changed, but
Patrick Mahomes might be a wizard.
A wizard?
I think this guy purposely lets his team get down just so he has a bit more of a challenge in the second half of these big games.
Or is it the script of the league?
Yeah, maybe. The whole first half and stuff, I'm like, oh, the 49ers, they're not up far enough. Oh, they should have scored there because this will not last.
No, I think the biggest maybe not the biggest mistake. Well, first of all, the biggest mistake was the punt that went off that guy's ankle.
Yeah, but that's not a, I don't know. That was kind of a freak deal.
I know about the next play, touchdown.
Yeah.
That was a big change. But another one was right after Mahomes actually threw a pick. Either the Niners went 3 and out or they got a field goal. I can't remember.
I think it was 3 and out.
Yeah, that would have gone up 2 scores.
Yeah, they had some spots where it was like the Chiefs' defense sort of clamped down.
The defense was awesome. I thought, but
and whether it's, I don't know what the answer is. I don't think that it's not like Brock had a bad game.
No, I thought he was fine.
They really couldn't get the run game going a whole lot, it seemed like.
Purdy was actually better than I anticipated. I thought he was really good.
I just knew at the end that, if you let Kansas City be anywhere near tying the ball game, they're just going to march down and do it.
Well, you knew the overtime when they settled for 3, it was over.
Yes, yeah. That was immediately.
Which, the coaching thing, that was a terrible decision, I think.
Well,
to not to not defer.
Yeah, that's because he didn't know the rules.
Which
he
tried saying it,
but I can guarantee you,
which is shocking because that guy's a good coach.
He is. And maybe he knew the rules and he didn't coach him up well enough to know that this is what the deal is.
I was 12 beers deep and I even said, "Why aren't they defending here?" So even I knew that. Even I knew that rule.
Well, you pay
maybe I
more
should
attention
coach
to the rules than some of these players, I'm sure.
Yeah. But when that happened, you knew that he was going to score a touchdown because 4 downs all the way down the field.
Oh yeah. Nah. And you just at that point you know that you have to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know that Mahomes there's just no way you're keeping him out of the end zone.
No. So that was.
And I'm not convinced. Even if they had got a touchdown, they would have just kicked the extra point. I don't know, but I'm not convinced that they don't.
Oh,
that KC would have just gone for 2.
Reed said, Kelce, someone said that they would have gone for 2.
So
to try to win it. There.
But to get 3 and just let them have a shot is, I don't know. Who knows? It would have been a different story had they just stopped them. We wouldn't be talking about it, but. I thought it was a good game.
It was a good game, at least.
I thought that neither team got blown out. I don't think either team was necessarily embarrassed or anything. Quite a few turnovers at the beginning there.
Yeah, the 2 fumbles.
Yeah, my prediction on the over and the prediction on my score, total miss. I told you guys should have just bet complete opposite of what I say on here because
I had about 7 bets out and I lost all of them. So
I threw a few. I threw a bunch of different bets out there. I lost all of them.
The biggest story was Ice Spice putting up devil horns and showing an upside down cross to national television. You didn't catch this?
No,
you didn't.
When was that?
When they flashed to Swift in the booth, she was next to her. She flashed devil horns and showed her upside down cross.
Oh,
she is Illuminati, I'm telling you.
Probably all are.
Bought and paid for. But I'm going to really miss football. This basketball is just not. I can't quite get into it like that.
I got yelled at when I got home. So I was out in Pleasant Hill, and I came home. I left at halftime.
Oh, you missed the Usher performance?
No, I didn't miss it.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to that. So I come home so that I can, say good night to the kids. And you know what? I got to work the next day. So me being all the way out there till like 10:30 or whatever it is, and then coming home, it's a disaster. So I come home at halftime and, say goodnight to the kids, and Mia's still upstairs, and I come back downstairs, and she's got the game paused, right? But it's like right before halftime starts. And so I'm like, oh, got the game paused. And she doesn't pay attention to football unless it's Hawkeye football. So I'm like, that's weird. So I just start fast forwarding and like I'm watching the game. I'm like halfway through the third quarter, and she hears the TV going, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching the game. You don't watch football. She goes, yeah, I had it paused. I wanted to watch the halftime show and the commercials. I'm like, what?
Well, hopefully you could still rewind.
I could.
Okay.
So I did. I had to rewind. We had to watch the halftime show. Then I fast forwarded through the game parts that I'd already seen, but we had to stop and watch all of the commercials.
Oh, they weren't even that good. There were a couple.
Well, they started repeating too in the second half, So then we had to watch, even though I could fast forward through stuff, we basically had to watch the rest of the game, including the commercials. Super, super annoying.
I think I would have gone to another television.
I could have.
So you could have gotten spoiler alerts with a text or something. We were.
Yeah, it could have, but it wouldn't have. Like,
yeah, who cares?
I would have expected it. But yeah, it was a good game. I didn't think it was like sometimes I go to go watch a Super Bowl somewhere, and you just like it's a total waste of a game. Like no interest in it or anything. Score's not that great. That was a good one, I thought. Not a fan of how it ended. I would have much rather seen the 49ers win.
I know. I was hoping Purdy'd get it, but oh well.
Yeah, 'cause
now the study for fantasy starts. The off season.
It is sad. We got quite a ways to go before any more football.
We got Combine in a week. So.
The Bears have not let on at all about what's really going to
Yeah,
happen.
you get. Oh, this is your Super Bowl's the draft.
Yeah, just
with
wait
the
and
Bears.
see what's going to happen.
I mean, that's exciting.
I know what's going to happen. Is they're going to trade
Fields.
He
already deleted all the stuff
Caleb.
off.
Fields is going to go on and probably win a Super Bowl for Atlanta.
It's going to be like Drew Brees when he left the Chargers.
Yeah. And Caleb is going to be the biggest bust since I don't even know who. Johnny Manziel.
Speaking of him, did you hear his interview with was it Shannon Sharp? I can't remember.
Oh. No, it was Big Cat. You talking about the one where he said or maybe Big Cat just
reposted it.
Okay.
I think it was Sharp.
Oh, maybe.
It's like a diet of cocaine.
Yeah.
That was it.
He's like, when I left Cleveland, I was 210 pounds. 6 months later, I was 170.
Which is just wild.
How do you lose 40 pounds that fast? Strict diet of cocaine.
I love how like everybody knew he was going to be that guy, and he was even worse than the guy they thought he'd be. Like as far as a party guy. Yeah. Jerry Jones wanted to take him too, of course. Thank God he got talked out of that.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens at the top of this draft. There's talk like Washington might want to move up one spot. Mm-hmm.
If you can fleece them,
yeah,
for one spot, that'd be a total Washington thing to do.
Yeah, I think any trade for that spot, no matter where you're coming from, it's obviously you're swapping first.
You're also
getting next year. You're getting a first and second from next year for sure at the minimum.
Or maybe the second this year or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be what'd the Bears give for Trubisky?
I couldn't tell you. Too much. I mean, that there are several teams that need a quarterback right up at the top.
Yeah.
there are a few good quarterbacks in this class, So I think you're going to see a number of them go off the board in the first
3, probably top 10, I think, at least. Yeah. And Deacon Hill, maybe, if he leaves Iowa.
I still think, I really think that they should keep Fields. If they still want to get a bunch of picks for him, maybe even trade down from the 9 and then take a quarterback a little later in the first or second round and have him sit, like, that's fine. But
if they really believe that this guy's the next whatever, though, you got to take him. I don't like him just because of the shit I've heard about him.
I think a big part of it is just that whole, like, the money side of it. Because Fields, whatever his next deal is going to be massive.
Yeah, and you don't know if he's...
And it's do you pay that or you just take the next 3 years, and see if it hits. But, man, I don't think Fields is bad.
I don't either. He's had some injuries, but...
He has looked a lot better than the quarterback, Trubisky,
Yeah.
The last time they drafted somebody up high. I don't know.
I think he's gone, though. I think didn't he take all the stuff off social media? And...
Yeah, I assume he's gone too. I imagine they've already probably told him,
So where would... Oh, I heard the Steelers have an interest in him.
Steelers, Atlanta's one. Yeah, I think he'll be good wherever he goes. Steelers are also a popular landing spot for any QB. Russell Wilson is a...
I'd much rather have Fields than him, but...
Yeah, we've seen peak Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen peak Justin Fields. I'm sure we will, just not for the Bears.
Yeah, so that's the next thing to really look forward to.
Yes, the draft.
March Madness is always fun, but for you it will be with Iowa State. They're good. I mean, they really are.
And that I saw.
They were in that Houston game. Yeah.
Did you watch that Houston game? They lost that game at the very beginning.
Yeah, they started slow,
real slow, and then at the end they had some bad, turnovers and some bad possessions that really hampered them.
That Lipsy didn't do much.
But a good point from that game is that those are two of the premier defenses in the nation, and so it's going to look a little uglier than normal. So I'm not going to put too much behind that, but I think
they'll be a 2 seed or 3 probably.
I think this team has played better than prior years when they've been a 2 seed.
Yeah.
And so
they're number 6 in the country, and they got a favorable schedule to win out. But then you got the Big 12 tournament, I guess. But I would say at least a 2.
Yeah. We'll see.
Unless they have a few bad losses, I guess. But
no, I think 2 or 3, but I don't know. I have a hard time getting my hopes up for that team. They've just broken my heart so many times.
Well, it's still a really long shot to win.
Not even talking about winning the Natty. I'm talking about just getting to an Elite 8.
I'd be surprised if they don't do that. They do look. I've watched most of their games, and I'm obviously an expert. They're pretty athletic, good shooters.
Yeah.
Good defense. Yeah.
I'm surprised that they haven't gotten anything out of that Omaha Baloo. He was supposed to be the next big thing.
He must just not be playing well.
From what I've heard, it's just that
freshman.
He's not performing that well in practice, and it's that thing where they've got the best team on the court, and he's just not one of the best guys.
Because I guarantee he probably thought he'd be going there to play.
And I've seen some possessions when he's in there, and he has some dicey stuff. He has some trouble catching the ball sometimes. That's pretty rudimentary, So I think he's probably a candidate that looks to he might transfer
maybe to Iowa. He would be starting there. All right, so we had a little fun last time with breaking movies down. Did Roadhouse.
I'm still looking forward to watching the new Roadhouse.
Oh yeah, I'll still watch that, but we thought we'd pick a a classic movie. Although Roadhouse is a classic, I guess, in a different kind of way. But we're gonna break down Predator.
Yeah, I think
The original.
The term like classic to me just really it's like anything that's old
That you're still talking about today. Yeah.
Yeah. Although watching Roadhouse, I really, I mean, it really makes you realize how terrible of a movie these movies can be.
Well,
Predator, though.
Before we move on to Roadhouse, I did see something on Snapchat. The guy that he fought in it, his rival, Jimmy, I believe his name was.
Okay.
He's still alive, and he says that him and Swayze.
Well, you mean to tell me that Swayze didn't actually rip his throat out at the end of that movie?
That's the only thing that was fake. The rest of it, he says he cracked Swayze's ribs. Like Swayze, I think said he broke the guy's jaw. Like they were fighting for real. Because they said, let's not make this look fake. Let's really do this. So that fight by the lake, the only part that didn't actually happen was that he did not really rip the man's throat out. But
It'd been a better story if he did. He had to like surgically reattach his larynx.
cut. My God, you killed the man. Alec Baldwin.
I think you killed a man.
Got too into the role of Dalton. Anyway, we could finally put Roadhouse to bed. I just saw that the other day, and I was thinking, like,
great.
I was thinking, wow, that was a hell of a fight scene. Go ahead, Predator. I'll let you kick it off here, because I usually like to make fun of movies, but this is an awesome movie.
Yeah, there's not a lot to really make fun of, because you have to remember, you know, it's from like 1987, so you know you got to really think about the special effects that were available back then. But just a great movie. The storyline's just a classic like sci-fi action movie. I mean, there's a lot of like there's some funny stuff. Like I'll always like pick apart these things, but like I get a kick out of just like looking at them and trying to figure out like, all right, when they did this movie, like what did they go off of for like how army people or these special forces guys dress? Because like they all dressed a little differently, you know.
What do you mean, like when they're out of they were just mercenaries, right? So they don't have like a uniform.
Okay, I guess I didn't put that together, but yeah. So like they get out of the chopper and they all look a little different. That's fine. Everybody's got their own style. But then like they're in the jungle and it's like, or like when they get out of the chopper and they go meet the general that's there.
Yeah. And
he's just wearing a green hat that has 2 green stars on it. It's like he's the colonel.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to figure out like what is this like realistic for the time, or is this like just completely like?
Are you talking when Arnold gets off the chopper? The guy he meets, that older guy.
The guy he meets, the older guy.
Oh yeah.
You know? And then like they're in the jungle, and you'd think like even if they're I guess mercenaries, you'd think they would have like a standard set of like this is what we're gonna wear, these are the type of weapons we're gonna bring, but no, like some of them are like sleeveless.
Yeah. Well,
and
from my time as a mercenary, I can tell you. Can wear whatever the hell we want.
Different hats, like, and then like
Jesse the Body had an MTV shirt on,
yes.
Sleeveless. I kind of want it.
It like they're the one guy brings like the gun that's got like the backpack and all of that. That seems like totally unnecessary, and
it was
a poor decision to carry that through the jungle. Like, you have to carry that.
Let's be real. If you had that option, you'd carry that gun.
I mean, this is a video game. Like, obviously, that's the gun I'm getting for the video game. But
that's kind of, I think, how mercenaries think. Like, there's no real rules. I don't think. No, that gun was awesome.
Oh, man. No, I had Monday off for President's Day. And so I sat down here and just watched The Predator and like just cranked it up loud. It was great. Just a great movie.
It is.
The storyline, I mean, for what it is, not a lot of holes.
No, it was more. It'd been a while since I watched it. More of a story than I remember.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that Dylan was in the CIA.
Yeah.
Pushing pencils or whatever. And there's some classic lines you
Oh,
forget
yeah.
where it came from.
You son of a bitch.
Yes, and then it was more manly sounding than that, but
The old.
then Jesse the Body, you slack-jawed faggots. I mean, that's
thinking
as
about-
epic of a line.
I know, but I was thinking about that. Like, how did we get 2 governors that were in the cast of this?
Because the people watch that movie, and they're like, that's who we need.
I guess
I didn't think about that until you told me today. Like, yeah, I forgot Jesse was. I remember Arnold. But
Yeah. It's it's almost even more surprising with Ventura. Like, seeing him in that movie, you're just like, no way that guy could ever be in politics. He's got like a giant baseball-sized wad of chew.
saying slack-jawed faggots. And
Just too much. Yeah, that
ain't got time to bleed. That was him too. Yeah.
that was a good line. Ain't got time to bleed. Yeah, he
I believe he was
surprising.
the second to die, maybe. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen it. But everybody dies.
Like, I watched it and I was like trying to find things to make fun of.
Same here.
Like, all right, so in the scene when they're in the jungle and they come across like the enemy camp, right?
Yes, and that was what the mission was, right? To get those plans from those guys.
Yeah. They thought it was a
They
rescue
obviously
mission.
didn't know there was a giant alien
Yeah.
skinning people or whatever.
Well, Arnold thought it was like a rescue mission for some crew that went down, and then they get in there. It was actually for like the CIA to
For
grab
intel.
This intel, right? But they go in and they start like fucking up this enemy camp. And I remember there's this one scene, and one of them like kicks in a door, and there's an enemy guy like sitting on the toilet.
on the shitter,
Yeah. Why was there a second guy in there? He's taking a shit, and he's got like one of his minions next to him, like fucking with papers.
It could just be they had to accommodate space there, I think, in the military.
I don't know that they. Are you really storing stuff next to the shitter?
Our good friend
And then
Asher said that's kind of how the bathrooms were set up. Because he was in the military.
Do they just?
But you're right. I don't know why there's an office next to it.
You'd think they'd be like, "Hey, guy, I'm gonna take a shit. Why don't you shuffle those papers somewhere else?"
The other thing about that part was this was well into the siege, and there was multiple gunfire. This dude's still on the shitter.
Yes, he's like.
Wouldn't you be like, oh my God, what's happening? Pinch that off and get up and see what's going on?
Well, maybe he's been having digestive issues, and there was nothing to pinch.
He looked shocked as the door came crashing down on him.
And this is like the same problem exists with every action movie, but how is it that none of the mercenaries get shot? I mean, there's a lot of bullets going around, and they're the only ones killing
The only one that got shot was Jesse when he said he ain't got time to bleed
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, he got-
arm.
Yeah, he got like grazed by
Yeah.
a bullet.
I guess that's why they're the mercenaries. They're
I guess.
better.
I guess. Oh man, the other thing I was thinking about is like, and this probably also goes for a lot of other movies like this, but second half of this movie, they're in the jungle, they're trying to get to their exit, they're being chased by the predator. A couple of them are like shirtless. They're all like sleeveless at this point. Like, you're in the fucking jungle. Like, you're gonna get like some staph infection that's gonna kill you when you leave. Like,
But if I had those biceps, I don't, and I still always wear a sleeveless shirt. I mean, look at our logo.
yes.
Yeah, Arnold, I would never hide those guns. And Carl Weathers, man, he was massive too.
Yeah.
Well, they all were really, except there's a couple that weren't as much. But
Great movie though. Like,
yeah, I did have a thought that the Predator looks like C.D. Lamb, and he moves like C.D. Lamb. He's a freak athlete.
Let me tell you a little tidbit, little nugget about the Predator. The actual Predator, not the movie. Just the Predator.
Talking Harvey Weinstein? What are you?
I looked up who. I looked up who played the Predator, because it was obviously back
A
then
dude.
like a dude,
Yeah.
right? So did you know that the original person cast to play the Predator, according to Wikipedia, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he even did a couple of the scenes to start
Really?
with, but they recast him like when they were doing when they were
What? He wasn't tall
working on
enough?
the movie. Partly, they wanted the Predator to look like he could actually dominate, Arnold and Carl Weathers and those guys who were all jacked,
Well, put him in some platform shoes. Van Damme was pretty jacked.
They got a guy who was like 7'2" to play the Predator. And he played the Predator in the sequel too.
Made a career off that.
Probably. Although you'd never, I couldn't, I even looked it up, but I still couldn't tell you who it was.
I did not know that.
Yep, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He would have been...
Well, he would have won,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looked like a guy that could beat
wonder-
up Arnold. I think he would have beat up Arnold.
No wonder they had to recast him. It would have been a totally different storyline. It'd be like casting Chuck Norris in that role.
He would not have needed to blow himself up at the end on his forearm.
No.
Now, this is not meant to be a controversial statement here. Predator cannot see dark mud.
I'm going to just stop you before you get too far along here. The Predator sees heat.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
All right?
The heat coming off the skin?
Yes. He's that's when you see it out of his eyes. That's what the red and the yellow is. It's heat, like heat seeking. It's like thermo,
Yeah.
right? And the concept was when Arnold put the mud all over his body, it covered up the heat signature.
I didn't know you knew so much about predators.
Well, you got to do your research.
I can't. Yeah, I didn't know he was Jean-Claude Van Damme either. But really good movie, and I don't think I've seen the second one.
I think I remember watching the second one a really long time ago. I'm talking back when it was VHS tapes from Blockbuster long ago.
Is this a new Predator, or is it the same guy he didn't really...
No, so there is 5 or 6 movies in the universe of Predator. So there's the original Predator, and then there's a sequel that came out a few years later. There's also recent ones.
Is there numerous Predators, though, or the same guy keeps coming back? Because this guy blew himself up.
Oh, it's a different... I think it's a different Predator.
It's a species of predators. Yeah. Okay.
I really haven't watched them, so I saw the second one a very long time ago, but I haven't watched it ever again. If I remember right, it was terrible.
And since I didn't look into this enough, do you know why he collects human skulls, or what his goal is?
No, I like what you had to say. Maybe there's a quota. Maybe he's got...
Yeah, does he have a boss
alien
he's got to report to?
We've all got a boss.
And you gotta... He brings him 10 skulls, and that's not enough.
Yeah, maybe.
He's just down here killing people for no reason.
There wasn't, that is, I guess, one point from the movies. You really don't know, what was the point, Was it really is it just, exploratory? Because you see at the very beginning, the ship kind of drives off and it, shits out a little turd.
Yeah, I did not remember that beginning at all.
And it drops down there. And you just dropping a single Predator down there. Is he ever going to make it home? Is that the goal? Is he just there to...
Report back? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And, I guess if you're going to, study people, what a mistake of a place to drop. Right into the jungle?
Yeah.
Imagine if he just landed in New York City.
Yeah, he could have had a lot more skulls.
Yeah, they wouldn't even notice.
No. Crime rate's high enough.
Crime rate might go down.
Yeah. Yeah, people are staying inside.
Yeah, people are afraid of the Predator.
That's what New York needs.
It's just a Predator.
Is a Predator.
There's plenty of Predators.
No, the Predator.
Oh. I'm going to watch some of the other ones, though.
I will. I watched the newest one called Prey.
Is that one any good?
It was towards the end of a night we were drinking, and I don't remember the end.
Than you think.
But it was good. I remember enjoying it. But yeah, I haven't seen the second one or the Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen that. But overall, way more enjoyable than Roadhouse.
It makes me think there are plenty of movies from that time frame that I should go back and watch. I was pleasantly surprised.
Commando.
That was another one of my favorites growing up. I've probably watched that one.
Now that one I think we could make fun of more because I do some of the lines and the acting were horrendous.
Who else is in that one?
The guy that's in Predator with him who is Jesse the Body's best friend that was really broken up. Who always had the razor on his cheek and
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Duke or something? I can't remember. But I believe he's in Commando.
So one of the things I do remember reading about the Predator, but the second one is that I think in the second one, I think Danny Glover's in it.
That sounds right, actually.
Getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, that does sound right.
It's another old one. Beverly Hills Cop. They got another one of those coming out.
Oh yeah, with Eddie.
Yeah, he probably needs the money.
Boy, that's one I could rewatch because I don't remember a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
My dad loved that movie. All right, one last question about Predator. What position you playing him at in the NFL?
What position does Draymond Green play?
That's the wrong league.
Oh, you say the NFL?
NFL. Linebacker.
Maybe.
I think so.
He is a badass. Probably,
Sideline to sideline speed.
Yeah.
Unmatched.
he's a tall guy, thick. Might be a tight end.
He'd be pretty uncoverable. I would think.
Probably just make him a quarterback and just
Run every time.
I mean, he, like you mentioned CeeDee Lamb, he's already, he's kind of looks a little like, he's got that hairdo.
I mean, I think that's probably the only reason I thought of it. Yeah, same hairdo.
Do you think he modeled that off the Predator?
I hope so.
He went inside and he goes, "Hey, I watched this movie over the weekend. Can you give me the Predator?"
Any other thoughts on the Predator?
You have to watch these things, then they're older, thinking like, this is gonna be not that great,
Yeah.
But it's held up.
Yeah, it's definitely held up. Like, it's better than most of those movies that are made today, those action ones. I'm not a sci-fi guy either. Like, this is one of the few.
Well, this one,
Because it's not really like, I mean,
it doesn't have a ton of sci-fi. I mean, just the fact that it's
an alien,
right?
but
it's mostly just action.
Yeah, it was good. Would recommend. And now it's the off season. We're gonna be doing a lot of movies. It's not as much to talk about.
Yeah, maybe we'll just transition to a movie podcast.
Wouldn't be bad.
No,
I think I said.
at least we'd be focused on one specific.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. A topic there.
Big daddy-daughter dance.
Oh, that's right. Saturday. We got.
Did we figure out where we're gonna take this crew of misfits?
Could always do Taste of New York pizza or something, or Seven Stone, or.
Is everybody going out to eat, or?
I haven't heard from everyone. I know David.
Yeah.
Is, but I assume Anthony. But I haven't heard. I don't know if he's been out of town this week, but I know we should figure that out.
I know he's out of town next week for a while because it's supposed to be nice, and I text him to play golf, and he's like, "I'm gonna be in Chicago that day, but he'll be back by Thursday." So should be a good time. I mean,
it'll be fine. They're looking forward to it. Oh.
I know. Mia and Lucy have been like trying new hairstyles for like 2 weeks now.
Wow.
So she'll get all gussied up. I'll just wear some jeans and a stained.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna.
Yeah, I don't either.
You should rip your sleeves off in the middle of the dance floor.
Wear that shirt.
Yeah, alpha move.
Just my wet noodle arms. Oh man, it'll be fun. It'll be chaotic. It always is, but
Yeah. Hopefully they stay in the dance floor. That'd be nice.
they won't.
They won't. No.
It'll be they'll want to go to this spot and they'll go to this spot and this spot.
End up
and
losing
this spot.
everybody.
So
For those that we have a daddy-daughter dance
yeah,
at a local church here that we do every year. Gives us some dad points. Baseball. What's true of baseball? I know nothing about baseball, but we can attempt to talk about it.
I'm gonna try and watch it. It's
Do you have that Cubs channel? What's it called?
I get some of it.
Marquee or
It's changed over the years. I don't even know what it is anymore. Baseball, the blackout rules really, really irritate me. Like if I wanted to pay for the MLB package, right? It would do me no good as a Cubs fan. Living in the Des Moines area, you're considered local for Chicago sports. You're considered local for Chicago, Minnesota, St. Louis, Kansas City. So you get blacked out of all of those, which sucks, right? Like if I was living in, California, I could get the package and watch all the Cubs games. But because I live close, I can't. And it's not just like, with football, if I get the whatever the package is, what's it called for football?
ticket?
Yeah, if I get the Sunday ticket,
ticket.
I can watch all the Bears games. Because if it's blacked out on the ticket, that's because it's on
Local.
Fox or CBS where I'm at. And it's not like that with baseball because they have all these stupid regional rules and networks and all this.
They make it so hard to watch, and
it is.
And they wonder why
They have a hard enough time, the game being boring that. Why would you alienate the people who actually want to watch it?
I know.
It sucks. Now, baseball is a sport that I don't mind listening to on the radio. The color commenters are pretty good.
I think
But
man, I think I'd rather get a root canal.
No, I don't know, man. Like, it's not like I'm gonna sit there, stare at radio, and listen to it. But I'm sitting out on the deck. I just fire the game up. I'm watching the kids play. I'm drinking a beer. Doesn't that sound like a great time?
I think I'd rather have music on, but the rest of it's all right. I don't know.
Oh man, we'll see.
I do like the playoffs. I watched, but
as a Cubs fan, it's just been a rough few years. And so I've kind of fallen off of trying to watch a bunch of them. It's hard enough to watch them, because you can't get them. But it's a lot of games, man. 162 games in a season is just crazy.
Yeah, George records every Cardinals game and watches them.
I mean, because you can wait to the trade deadline and you're going to know like if your team has any shot at anything. And there's still plenty of games left. There's still half a season. There's 80 plus games.
Yeah.
So the early games, it's tough, and I don't know. I'll probably try and watch some more this year, but I don't think the Cubs are going to get any better this year.
I thought they were. Didn't they sign a couple, like that pitcher? Or?
Couldn't tell you. Haven't paid attention yet.
He's a Japanese guy, I thought, but
they were in the running for that Owatani for a while, but that fell off. Golf's picking up.
You see how out of control that waste management got?
Yes. I've been to that tournament before. I've never been up in the stands on 16, but it's been maybe 5 years since I was there. But it's just 3 or 4 or 5 times as crazy as it was back then.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting worse as far as drinking goes.
What was I listening to? It might have been the Foreplay podcast. And one of them was talking about, he lives in Arizona, and they went on like a Saturday, and like just getting from the entrance to like a point on the course where you could kind of get away from the crowd. Like they said, it was just like I don't know, cattle. Like they were just all bunched together. It took them an hour and a half.
Jeez.
If I was in a crowd for an hour and a half trying to move like that, I would freak out. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, that just does not sound fun at all to me. No.
It was, I mean, some of the stuff that you saw online or on TV was a little too much. You
mean that really large man sliding down the hill and
that kind of stuff? Like, yeah, I guess it didn't help things that they got a bunch of rain. They don't normally get rain.
Yeah, just slop.
Yeah, that doesn't help. But just I don't know. Just like it's okay to be loud on the holes where they expect it, but just to be an absolute disaster everywhere on that course is just too much. They got a problem because what'll happen is like the big name stars just won't go anymore.
Yeah, I mean I've been pretty drunk before, but some of those people could not function. Like they couldn't move.
And it's like the middle of the day.
Yeah, I mean how much are they putting back?
But like if you were out there paying for beers you were that drunk, like you would, I mean, the amount of money you had to pay, because those have to be $10, $12 beers.
Yeah, the local one we have here is like $10 a beer, I think.
It would just,
there had to be some like sneaking shots and
there's probably a lot of like pre-gaming, you know?
pre-game.
People thinking like, oh yeah, it's going to be $15 a beer, I better, have a few shots. But I don't know. I like that tournament, but I think they're going to lose some of the bigger stars because it's not one of those elevated events.
Yeah.
With the bigger purses. It's actually right in between two of them, and people just aren't going to go to it if they are going to get.
Zach Johnson was getting in fights.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, they were giving him the business about
a little soft, Zach.
He coached the
Ryder.
Yeah, the Ryder Cup or whatever, and he didn't do a very good job evidently, and boy, they were giving him the business on that. Did you see Tiger Woods' kid? He plays golf.
Yeah.
And he played in a
86
qualifier for a PGA tournament, and so he's 15 years old. Yeah, he shot an 86, but good on him. These are PGA Tour distance courses. Golf is one thing. Playing in a stroke play tournament is another, and doing it on a scale of like where it's like PGA people trying to play in a PGA Tour event is just a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. Like he had a 12 on a par 4. It's 8, so 8 over, which is just crazy. But he shot an 86 with an 8 over hole, right? If he pars that hole, it's a 78, which is respectable as a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
In that, I mean, that's just phenomenal, So he got it. He's getting some shit online for it, whatever. But I did hear that they had a problem with crowd control at this thing. People showed up to watch.
They were trying to take his ball, I saw.
Yeah, they were like sneaking into the woods trying to find his golf ball and take it.
Yeah. Golf's getting out of control, man.
Fuck, man.
It's like WWE. It's ridiculous.
I think it's a tall order to think that Charlie Woods is going to be anything comparable to his dad.
No, you can't.
Golfers these days are incredible. Mm-hmm. Tiger.
How about Tiger having diarrhea? The rumor. He had an ambulance show up.
Tiger came into golf in a different era. The players are not like the players of today are they're just more elite than the players of old. And
you calling Tiger a fraud?
He's the reason why there is this much talent today.
Yeah, kids wanted to start playing.
But if Tiger came up today, I couldn't say that he would have had the exact same success that he had, in a prior time. But
yeah, it's really messy right now with the whole live thing, and it's just
I don't know what's gonna happen with all that. Like they the PGA got an investment from a big sports group. I think it was like $3 billion infused, and so on like basically, it sounds like it was basically the deal that the Saudis, the PIF, was gonna do, except they went. So then, the DOJ like had a problem with the PIF coming into a sport like that, and the PGA went and got outside investors. They're not done like talking to the Saudis about that merger, air quotes, but it looks a little different now that they were able to get other money.
Yeah.
They have some more leverage now. The PGA really should say that some of these guys can come back, because that would put pressure on LIV. Because what LIV has right now is that they have these guys and they're not on the PGA tour at all.
Yeah.
But if the PGA were to say, like, yeah, you come back for, you do this and you can come back and play, X number of events or whatever, that increases the value of the PGA because it's got more players and better players.
But they're all allowed to play the majors, right?
Yes. There are some rules to that. Like, you have to qualify. So, like, if you win the Masters, you can always play the Masters. Right? So the guys like John Rahm, who went over, he can come back and play the Masters. And then, like, there's some exemptions. Like, if you win a major, then you're exempt from them for, like, 5 years or something like that. So you have to qualify, But any one of them could come back and, like, go through a local qualifier and get in on, like, the U.S. Open, the British Open.
What is Masters the next major?
Yep.
April? Yeah.
Every year, this got sent to me from one of my golf buddies, but it's like a pool, a Masters pool. So you like pick golfers from different like ranges. You have to pick one from each of these groups of players.
Yeah.
And then like your top so many count, and so like you're trying to get the lowest score, for the tournament.
Okay.
But it's like you throw in $10, and it's like, I've never met the guy who runs this thing. I think he lives out in New York or something, and so you're just like, Venmoing them and assuming they're going to pay you if you win.
He's never paid anybody.
Probably not. But like the whole deal is it's like a couple thousand people get in on this thing. It's $10 a pop. And so there's a shitload of money on the line, but like you think like, what's $10? Just throw $10 and see what happens. I've never done very well at it, but it's so random sometimes for golf.
I'll get in on it. I'll Venmo this random dude.
You should. He encourages people to send out.
Of course he does. He doesn't ever pay.
Yeah.
This guy's a brilliant.
It's probably. It very well could be true, and you can buy a bunch of different entries. It would be interesting. It's like the sweepstakes. You never know. Like you get an offer. Sign up for this thing here, and you entered to win whatever. Did they ever give that away? Yeah. It's getting warm out, so for me, it's
this weather's been great.
Just waiting for warmer weather to get here.
Have you been on the range at all?
I got a net in the garage.
That's right.
I am going to play golf here next week, I think, whenever Anthony gets back from Chicago, assuming the weather holds. But, it won't be too long.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
It's just a matter of getting to warm weather so I can put away the snowblower, and
hopefully we're done with that.
Go outside. Yeah, this has been great. Like, my kids, they come home and it's like usually it's like tablet this, tablet that. But this warmer weather we've had, they want to go outside and play.
Yeah.
My parents got them a hoverboard. Have you seen these things?
Yeah. I've seen Mia put something up on.
Yeah. So the kids each have these
Snapchat
hoverboards. It's like a Segway without the handlebar. And
I would be afraid I'd absolutely biff
Yeah.
on that thing.
yeah. But the kids come home and that's all they want to do. They want to go outside and play on their hoverboards. Leo, the first time he tried it though, like he couldn't figure it out, and he gets angry when he can't figure something out. He just throws a fit. But God bless her, his sister, like the next day, like worked with him and showed him how to do it, and next thing you know, he's just whipping around the driveway.
The video of Mike Tyson falling on, though, that is hilarious.
Oh, he got on one?
Mike Tyson was just around his kitchen, like just fooling around. Just one of the hardest falls you've ever seen in your life. Just, it's a great video.
I saw this video and like it was, I laughed, but it's also half genius. All right, so like I have a when I golf, I walk sometimes, and I've got a push cart for my clubs. So I put the clubs on this little like tripod looking thing with
Pussy.
wheels. Yeah. Okay, whatever. I'm old, man.
I didn't know.
If I carry my clubs.
So it's like a push lawn or like a lawnmower that you can.
No, it's not powered.
Okay.
It's manual. So like you just set your clubs on it, and then it has wheels, so you can walk and not have to carry on your back your golf clubs.
Okay, so like
Right.
that.
And
Like a suitcase.
you kind of
Wheels.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. That's not that bad, I guess.
And there's a video of someone who had one of these hoverboards, and he has a push cart for his golf clubs, and so then he's just out there on it. He's like, he's got the hoverboard, and he's going forward using that for power. And
Imagine
pushing it
Anthony's
around.
face if you bring a hoverboard to his country club. Banned.
The man has
on
a cart. Like
on site.
I'm not walking at that course.
So yeah, we missed you last Saturday at the hockey game.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was fun. It was a mess towards the end of the night at
Was
that
it?
bar at the Ridgemont.
Yeah,
For me, at least. A lot of shots were being bought,
Oh god,
and
I had a bit of an eye problem. So we had all those kids over. So we had we had my two nephews and my niece over. So we had 5 kids in the house, and we had that was Friday night and Saturday night. So yeah, Saturday Leo had his last basketball game. So we took the crew up to the Y to watch the basketball game. And then we went to this place over by Jordan Creek Mall called like Kids Empire or something like that. It's like one of these indoor playgrounds.
oh yeah, I want to say Gianna's been there. I have not, but
Fucking nightmare fuel. Man.
no wonder your eyes hurt.
God. We get there and it's like a madhouse to even get through, like getting paid and like get through the front entrance. You know, it's
Yeah.
like they got lines and there's no direction on which line you're supposed to be in. And we were waiting in one, and then we find out, no, that's just a party line. You got to be in the other one. And then, you know, you get inside, and it is like loud. You know, Mia said Mia wasn't going to go unless I went too. We were meeting another one of our friends there, and he had his niece and nephew, and so, you know, the kids all went and played. I sat at the table with all the stuff, and I put headphones. I had noise canceling earbuds. I put those in. I was listening to something, but it was mostly just
Thanks for coming, Dad.
mostly so I could like zone out and not listen. It was so loud.
You sound so old.
I don't care, man.
What's like a nightclub in there?
No, it's like a big open room with tables, and then it's got in the back. It's got this giant jungle gym thing that the kids crawl through and all this stuff. It's got this thing called Mia calls it human plinko, but it's like 3 levels of these bands that stretch across it, and these kids just jump through it and they just bounce on these bands and like fall through. I don't know how anybody didn't die.
That sounds like they could get hung.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we were there for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 hours. And
Oh, that's a long time.
oh man. But I had like something. I had like a something on my eye screwed up, and like I woke up like Saturday morning, my eye wouldn't even open. It wasn't pink eye.
Gross.
Yeah, it was gross. But
No wonder you didn't come out.
it felt a little better Saturday night, but like I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna like go
You didn't
do anything."
We were only there
I just went to bed.
a couple
I went to bed,
hours
like, early that night.
Yeah.
Did you
It was
guys
fun,
go
though,
anywhere
but
before the hockey game, or did you guys
The
just
same
straight-
bar. We had a couple there. Met Asher and
Oh, okay.
his friend Rob. And
What did the Bucks?
it was
win?
fun. The Bucks lost, but I guess it was to the best team in the league. I don't know. But these kids afterwards are out there just signing autographs as if they're in the big leagues.
Huh.
They're all just shirtless.
And that's how I signed my autographs. I'm pretty sure that's how I signed that picture.
I mean, these did not look like high school. They were like ripped.
I don't
And-
know who plays in that league anymore.
I think it's
thought it
high
was
school.
High school kids.
Yeah.
but
They're just trying to pick up the moms, I think.
they're probably
It about worked on
successful.
JD. Yeah. I mean, I never felt more inconsequential walking.
Did you take your shirt off and go ask for an autograph? Just sign it right here on my chest.
Sign my beer belly. It was a fun night to get out though, but yeah, I reminded that I can't do shots like that anymore. Well, I never really could, but
Yeah.
I had to just stick to beer. And then I decided, because I was bored, I bet on the NBA All-Star game.
Damn.
And what a joke that game has become.
Yeah. I can't believe they still allow people to bet on that.
I just remember, like, I watched as a kid with the Jordan years. And now, granted, that weren't playing lockdown, but they tried a little bit. You know, put a hand in a face. Didn't let them score 286 points or whatever it was. I mean, it was unbelievable.
What bets did you make?
I bet on the West just to win.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I looked at their roster, I'm like, oh, these guys just look better. But it doesn't matter because nobody's playing defense. So
Yeah.
they just let them score. It was just a big fuck you to end my weekend. So I'll never. I'm mad. I don't even love the NBA, and I gave them that money
You can give the
or
NBA
the
that
DraftKings.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was how my weekend went. The Sunday scaries. Deciding to bet on that. I'm really gonna miss football. It's just.
I won't
It's just nothing.
I won't do much of any betting until football starts back up.
I'll do March Madness, I think, but not every
see.
game or anything.
We'll
but
see. I don't know. I don't mind doing a couple brackets.
yeah,
I have a hard. I mean, basketball, baseball. I mean, they're both like really hard to bet on.
yeah, basketball with, like I said earlier, all the free throws at the end of the games that make the lines hit or not, even when the game's decided. Like it is difficult. But I'll
It's
keep
just
trying.
It's just so random too. I mean,
Yeah.
like good teams are good teams, but like any given night, like the margin of victory can just be so different.
Yeah.
You know.
So if we decided our movie for next week,
No.
we gotta think of one. Could do Commando.
Could.
I think. See if that's available on something.
Yeah, that's also. I think it is because I think I looked it up. I think I watched Predator and I was like, I always liked Commando.
Yeah. It's on AMC Plus. I don't know if.
Oh, maybe that's one that I'll have to like. Is it? It may just be showing on AMC too.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is peak Arnold though.
It is funny. You have to like look at like where you can see it
Uh-huh.
anymore.
I did watch Oppenheimer, and I won't do a breakdown because it's.
Yeah, I gotta watch that one. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it.
I'm not, but I'll just say that I'm stupid, and I think I'm just too stupid to watch such a history piece because hour 3 comes rolling around.
Yeah, they make movies too long. I have to like, I catch myself sometimes. I'm watching, like, I want to watch a movie and like, oh, this looks good. So I sit down and start watching it. And next thing you know, I'm like doom scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck no, god damn it. I wanted to watch the movie. I got to sit and watch the stupid
I
movie.
think like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes is a sweet spot
Yeah.
for a movie, but I had to watch it with all that hype. Great acting, I'll say that. Good cast. But getting my shower redone. There's a hot topic.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Well, it's kind of been an inside, like 3 years ago now. I didn't know what to get JD for our anniversary. I got her a card simply with a picture of a shower in it. I said, we're going to get one. Years passed. Never got the shower. And it's kind of like an inside joke. Like, I always just put a picture of a shower now in a card. Like, it's eventually coming. We find...
So you're talking like
this time.
You're talking about like in your master bedroom.
Yeah, the master bedroom.
Master bathroom. You've got the tub shower deal, right? And you're gonna have that yanked out and like a tile shower put in.
Tiled with nice open doors and
Yeah.
tile up to the ceiling. And they started that today.
We watched my I was watching my nieces and nephews, and they brought me back some beer, and they brought me back this. This is like one of those bad call bricks.
Where did they get this?
I don't know. They were down in the Ozarks. They were down in Branson, so probably some little shop down
I
there.
like it.
Yeah.
Throw it at the TV. This will get a lot of use with the
Yes.
Bears.
Probably at the draft.
When they trade. Yeah, I wonder what the value for Fields is. Is it even a first? Probably not a first rounder.
I think it's like a second
Second.
rounder. I think if they I think they should keep Fields, but if they were gonna get like a first rounder for him, then I think you got to trade him.
Yeah, I don't think. People really value those draft picks. It's hard to.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. What do I know? But it seems like this method of just using your high-end first-round picks, every 3 years on a quarterback probably isn't the best approach.
No. And the top ones don't always work out.
Well, no,
We've talked about that before. A lot of it's a situation.
It's situation because you are going to a team who has a high draft pick for a reason, and it's usually these dysfunctional teams. That doesn't help anybody. But also, like, the expectations are so high. Like, if Caleb Williams isn't like, I mean, I don't even know who he's supposed to be compared to. He's a dual threat quarterback, right?
More so passer, but yeah.
Is he?
I think he can move a little.
I mean, it's
he's
just
supposed to be like, I don't like. What did I hear? Like a Peyton, like throwing the ball, like.
Well, if he's not Peyton Manning, then he's going to be a bust because he's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
I just think they're going to take him unless he throws a big bitch fest about it, but we'll see.
I think that's don't play a sport that has a draft.
Yeah, I just
You
don't like
that.
I just don't like him as a. He just seems like he's going to be a diva.
Yeah,
And I don't know why you wouldn't want, like, they got some players there. He doesn't like the cold. I don't know. He could be in worse spots. I'd rather go there than Washington. I think.
I would be surprised if Washington doesn't at least make a play for him.
They will, especially with that owner and
I just-
Magic Johnson's involved. And
It's just so weird that they went out and they got Cliff Kingsbury. Like, I just didn't see that coming because he was out there at USC with Caleb, right?
he was?
Yeah, he was like one of their like QB coaches or offensive
Oh,
guys,
was
a
it?
consultant or something. And so like the whole talk is that they brought him in like, oh, they're gonna trade up and get so they can get Caleb. And it would be really weird if they didn't at least attempt it.
They'll probably attempt it.
You know?
Well, then you'll get Drake May, which wouldn't. Who knows?
I
He
know,
might
but
be.
that's like that is also the weird thing. It's like I think that you have just as good a shot at throwing a dart at any one of those guys as you do at working out with Caleb. You know, so it's like man, do you just take the second best player overall, or I mean, dream scenario, right? Washington is like just fucking rolls the picks out, moves up one spot. The Bears decide to keep Fields. They draft Marvin Harrison Jr., number 2 overall, and then they draft, I don't know, an edge rusher or a offensive lineman at 9.
I think a big part is they don't. It is that contract situation with Fields. I think
It
it's a
is.
big thing.
It is. Because they know they're going to have to pay him.
Yeah.
You know, when you draft that rookie QB, you're thinking, all right, I got a 3-year window to win a Super Bowl.
So what about Purdy? Is he gonna get? He's only in year 3, I guess. They got to raise him somehow, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They got a pretty sweet deal out of him.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. I feel really bad for Purdy because that Super Bowl, that could have been his one chance.
Yeah, it might be. I mean,
Because I don't. Is he going to get paid when this next year's up? Yes. But I don't know that it will be the 49ers as their starter.
it'll be some.
But I've also I mean, I'm a fan, but I've still I never really thought he would win that job. Like I thought that it would be Trey Lance's job, and you know they shipped him out. So maybe I'm just wrong on it. You know,
I don't know what to think of that guy. He makes some really good throws. Like I think he is pretty good.
he's really smart.
But I don't know.
You know?
Everyone says the cast around him, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He did better with that cast than a guy like Garoppolo. I mean,
Yeah, he also, might be less expensive than some of these. Even if he gets paid, getting paid may not mean, $30 million a year.
Yeah. Well, I certainly think they were an extra point away from potentially winning it all. But
I mean, statistically, he had a incredible year. So maybe the 49ers look to extend him next year, and they just, they give him what do quarterbacks make now? It's 30 plus, right? A year?
Yeah, it's 30 a year.
So what? Like maybe the Niners get a very good QB for $18 million a year.
Yeah.
Gets a discount, and then they can use that cap space for more great players.
You just know some desperate team though would outbid them for him. I bet, like a Washington if they.
Yeah, but do you think? I don't know. I guess money. I don't know. Money kind of trumps everything, but.
Oh, he'd take the higher deal, right?
I don't know.
Is he that good of a kid?
I don't. Is it? But think about that. All right. It's hard to imagine, but if you're gonna make $20 million or you're gonna make $29 million a year, right? But your $20 million is with, we'll just say the 49ers, and we'll say that all right, they may lose Ayuk here, but let's say they still got McCaffrey, Samuel, and they go out and pick up some other, good wide receiver. They got good tight ends, good defense, right? Great offensive line. Yeah. And so your options are the 49ers, and it's still a really good contending team. And you're going to play for $20 million, or 29, 30, whatever the number is, call it 30 million, but you got to go play for, a dumpster fire like Carolina or Washington.
20
the
million,
Bears.
20 million in California, though, is about $1 million after taxes.
That's true. That's a good point. That is a really good point.
That's why Ohtani did
housing,
his deal.
Man.
Yeah.
The guy, he already makes $800,000 a year. He can't afford
even
afford an apartment.
He's stepping in human shit leaving his house.
He lives in a studio with a roommate, probably.
But no, I'm one of those I like to think where it wouldn't be a huge difference to me. I'd stay in a comfortable situation with a lot of money instead of an uncomfortable one with 10 million more. But who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not in that spot, never will be. So I don't know what I'd do for sure. But
what if he went to play for Dallas? Takes Dak's place.
I would. Well, they would free up
and screws Trey Lance one more time.
Yeah. I would take a quarterback like Purdy. Doesn't make Dak. I do think is a decent player. But I don't know if he's worth, because they're gonna have to extend him again this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they?
Yeah, I think he's gonna get another increase because his contract. That's how it's worked.
Why don't they just franchise tag him and wait for him?
I don't understand the salary cap, but I
Oh,
think Dak's
I
good
can see
enough
that.
to. I do think he's good enough to win, but they need. He's not a Mahomes or anything like that, but they need defense, and their O-line's not as good as it used to be. But
Yeah.
they're gonna have to pay Lamb now and Parsons.
See, that's you find
I'll
all
tell you
this
what I'd do.
talent on the rookie deals, and
I might trade Parsons for like numerous first rounders.
Yeah.
Fill out around the defense.
He'd be worth it.
I am glad that Quinn's gone.
Yeah.
I like Zimmer better. I think he's a more disciplined coach. I don't know. I'll never see a Super Bowl. I know that. I'm just hoping for an NFC Championship. That'd be cool.
I don't know, man. I think this year was
the year.
like one of your best bets, and it just didn't happen.
No. Yeah, just an epic choke job.
I remember, a few episodes ago, sitting down here and just laying out exactly how I thought the playoffs would go, and boy,
Nothing shocks me, but
just wrong.
I thought they'd at least get to the NFC Championship this year, and then maybe a chance to upset the Niners. But
Boy, maybe it's just like the NFC East.
Too easy.
Both Dallas and Philadelphia, they looked like such good teams, and they just kind of faded.
yeah. Well, even Philly's Super Bowl run, they played pretty well in the Super Bowl, but I think they got like a New York Giant team that was on like their second quarterback in the playoffs, and then they got Purdy when he got hurt, so they had like the third string quarterback, so they didn't play a lot of people that year either.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens this next year. The draft and free agency opens up, and see what these guys decide to actually do.
Yeah.
See what all the new coaching changes and what the philosophies change.
No Belichick for the first time in forever.
I'm surprised.
He'll be back.
He didn't get a job. Do you think it's like? Do you think he has a team in mind?
I wonder if it's Dallas.
And they're just wait. He's just waiting.
I kind of wonder if it is Dallas.
Take a year off and just wait for the opportunity.
Yeah. He'll be back. How about Tom Brady just taking over the A team of the NFL? Like they just demoted Greg Olson.
Yeah.
Which I didn't love Greg Olson, but like
Brady had that deal locked up like a long time ago.
that he'd just take over the number one?
What, they paid him a lot of money. I think it was like a $400 million deal.
Why didn't he do it this year then?
I don't know, because he wasn't sure if he was going to play. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if there was any truth to it, but I think I heard that there was like talk of a like Gronk and Belichick type. You know how there's like the Eli and Peyton cast. The
Gronk
Peyton
and
cast?
Belichick?
Yeah.
God, I don't know if Belichick's entertaining enough. Although we have a podcast and we're not very entertaining. So
Maybe Belichick is like really entertaining and funny.
Yeah, he might
Just
be.
as a coach, he's always
serious.
been a certain way.
I mean, he's obviously pretty smart.
Yeah.
Gronk would just be hammering beers, I'd think, on air.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I wonder how many games next year are going to be, you know, streaming services. You already got Thursday nights on Amazon. You know, they've started
Peacock.
They did Peacock is in the zone now. That's an NBC thing. So
Whenever I say games on Peacock, my dad lets out some expletives for some reason. He just can't stand having to open an app. Because the Iowa women are on Peacock a lot with Clark.
I don't blame them.
You
know, it's going to move more towards that. I think we're going to see more and more of it. I mean, Peacock is NBC, so it wouldn't surprise me
the Sunday night.
if they do a Sunday night game on there, you know?
Because football fans are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
They're going to want to watch.
Yep.
They can... Yeah, NFL's just king. They can do about anything.
I heard someone say something about the Jaguars moving to
London.
What do you think the chances of that happening? I don't like the overseas games.
I kind of think it's a pretty good chance of that happening, and I don't like it.
I don't like the games over there.
You got to wonder how players would feel about being drafted to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like. They just have a good thing, and they just go too far with it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of like this whole college thing. The NIL, I get it. They pay them, but you can't tell. I think it's a worse product right now with all these big mega conferences.
Yeah.
And
I think
transferring every year, you just
NIL was a disaster.
I think so, too.
I think the guys should get paid, but the NCAA should not have buried their head in the sand. No. They should have been the ones to come in and say, like, yes, we're going to allow it. Here's the rules.
Yeah, there's got to be some guidelines here.
You know, now it's just like it's like free agency all the time.
Yeah. And the conference realignment, I can't even tell you who's in what conference anymore, except like the major like. Ohio State, Michigan, but
I think I think we're not that far off from more realignment in the sense that like obviously the Big Ten and the SEC are trying to line themselves up as like we could just break away and tell you guys all
the only two conferences, yeah.
Like maybe we'll let you in. I don't know. And like the Big 12.
Who's in the Big 12 anymore? Is it just Iowa State?
I mean, that's the best basketball.
Kansas.
School. The Big 12. They've got what do they have? 14, 16 now.
They have that many still.
Well, they got.
Or they're bringing
Colorado,
in weird ones. BYU, or is that?
We brought in Houston, Cincinnati, BYU, and UCF. And then you've got...
you could have given me a UCF. I would have never guessed. That's a Big 12 team now?
I believe so. You've got Colorado coming in and
weren't they already in Colorado? No.
They used to be. Then they left to go to
now
the
they're
Pac-12,
back.
and now they're coming back because the
Okay,
Pac-12 is no more. So, we lost Oklahoma and Texas.
Oof. Big loss.
Well, it's big loss in like eyeballs.
Where did Oklahoma go?
SEC.
Both of them went SEC.
Yeah, big mistake on their part. I mean, yeah, you might be in the SEC. You might have locked up.
I knew
but
I knew Texas did. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I think there was, the Big 12 is always trying to look for their way to.
Iowa State's going to win the Big 12 every year. At this.
Basketball, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it is going to move towards more of a. I think it's going to be maybe 4 conferences now. Pac-12's not there. Actually, kind of.
ACC? They're still around.
Yeah. Who would the 4th one be? ACC, yeah, I guess. But even
Florida State and.
Well, Florida State's
Duke.
not happy there.
Yeah, they might want out.
It's funny, like they could just end up going more towards what conferences were originally, regional. Like you think about it, right? You got 4 main ones now. You could just go, oh, hey, maybe we should break this all up to some sort of regional setup.
Yeah.
And then you can do, like you can base your playoffs off of this and that instead of having to do what it is today.
Yeah, Iowa's traveling like USC is just weird to me.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. I think USC's coming to Kinnick this year, but I'll still watch. Let's put it that way. So I think they know that people are still going to watch.
They're not going to fuck it up too bad, but
no.
Even like when Texas and Oklahoma left the Big 12, like there was talk like, oh, this is it for the Big 12. It's like, oh, where's Iowa State going to go? Even if Iowa State ended up in like the Mountain West, like still going to watch, just going to have to do it on some Wednesday nights.
They're more of a Mountain West program anyway. Put them in the MAC.
Some action. Like, with football, like, yes, Iowa State, like, you're in the Big 12, and I don't, will they ever be, will they ever win a national title? No, probably not.
Neither will Iowa.
Yeah,
so.
It is what it is. But, at least Iowa has, like, built themselves into, like, a,
I could see Iowa making, like, not this, but a playoff at some point.
Yeah, once it gets a little higher up.
What's it at 12 now?
Yeah. Basketball is a different side of it. Football's where the money's at, which kind of makes, that's how everything works. But basketball, like, Iowa State's done great this year. They've had years where they've been really good. And so.
Yeah, they are a pretty good basketball program, I got to say. And, I didn't realize Fred Hoiberg has built Nebraska pretty good all of a sudden.
Has he?
They're a tournament team this year.
Huh. Is he running the same,
Old Freddie.
Is he running the same, fast-paced offense?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just don't think he's been able to get the same athletes there. Yeah. But I watched them the other night. They're pretty good.
Yeah,
they're decent. They're not going to.
I always liked those Iowa State teams underneath him, but yeah, he totally different style. And it was so funny because like Otzelberger was on his staff. And so,
Coach Otz, your boy.
Yeah. So you'd just think that like he
maybe Otz is the guy that recruited everyone.
Yeah, he was. He was a big recruiter.
I think he's got those kind of guys again.
So
his shirts are too small. So tell your buddy.
Yeah.
Maybe
they used to fit.
He's in the schmedium. It's like me trying on my old American Eagle outfit.
Like I don't get rid of any of my shirts, even though half of them don't fit anymore.
Just someday, maybe I can squeeze back in.
Yeah, maybe someday I'll, get off my lazy rear end.
No school tomorrow.
Yeah. They don't go to school much, it seems like.
No. Back in my day.
Fuck, we had...
These early outs are every other Wednesday.
Man. Did you lose power, was it last week? On Thursday or whatever it was?
My house did not, but The school
Did
did.
the school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they let
I
out.
was so pissed. So my house lost power. And I'm sitting there, and it goes off at like noon. And
They didn't give you much notice to go get the kids, did they? Like,
no, not really.
Yeah.
And so the power goes out, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And so I, like trying to figure it out online. Eventually, I get a text from Mid-American. They're working on it. They expect it to be back up by 2. Like, all right. Hour goes by, and hour goes by. So it's about 1 o'clock, and get a message from the schools, and it's like, due to the power outage, we're going to send everybody home. I'm thinking, motherfuckers, like, it's gonna be back on. Like, just let it go.
I remember it used to be so hard to get out of school back in the.
Just teach them without the screens for like 1 hour.
That's what I told JD. I'm like, so the iPads are out. Like, just how about a chalkboard?
That's what happened. The power went out.
It was.
And then they ran the batteries down on the iPads. And then an hour in, those are all dead.
Teacher's like, we're gonna have to use the whiteboard. This is gonna get bad.
I don't know how to write. I don't know how to read. I can't just read to the kids.
No wonder we had such a stupid generation.
God. And so sure enough, about 1 o'clock, you get a message, and it's like, well, we're gonna send them home. So high school and middle school is out at 1:30, and kindergarten or elementary school is out at 2:30, then you get a message, no Beyond the Bell, no after school programs. And then shortly after that, my power comes on.
They're like, too late.
Yeah. I had to go. The power's been on for 40 minutes by the time when I go pick the kids up. Their power's back on at the school. I can see it because the stupid power doors work. And it's like, come on, man.
Gianna was sick anyway that day, but I did get the message that they were all.
It's like, just.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as they get like a chance to have an extra day off. And then it's like, oh yeah, also we've got a teacher in service day this day. Well, you know what? Maybe you should have a teacher in service half day, and those kids can go to school for half the day.
I remember like the AC went out once at our school, and it was just sweating, and they kept school going.
Yeah, they're like
when it was so hot out.
like, oh, you're hot. Go get a drink from the water fountain.
Take an extra drink break.
Yeah,
you're good. Yeah, no, it was hard to get canceled. Now they're just out for anything.
Yes, it was. But. And how about like when we were kids and like do you think the snow's going to cancel it? There's no like text message about school being canceled. You got to sit there and watch the freaking news.
I got up at like 5 a.m. to see the scroll.
You had to see the scroll, and then like you look at something else in the room and you miss your
wait.
School's letter, and you're like, gosh dang it, you got to wait for it to come back around. No, not anymore.
There was nothing more demoralizing than my dad coming in the room and says, "No cancellation today. Get dressed."
Now there's even a threat of snow. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a snowstorm. If they just cancel it in anticipation, they don't.
Yeah, that night, so the kid can enjoy the night knowing there's no school.
Yeah,
they got it easy.
These kids, back in my day, I had to walk to school uphill both ways.